The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Yo guys, what's up? It's the week of June 17th, 2019. My name is co-host Kev, and this might be news to you. Check us out on Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes. Get at us on fucking Patreon. Come on, guys. Just $5 a month. That's all it takes, and then you get all the extra content in the world. Please take it over from here.
Wow, Kev.
Yeah,
wow,
buddy.
Kev. Good job,
Okay.
Kev.
Thank you.
Wow. Very good.
My man. Good job.
Patreon.com/MBN Network. That's the easiest way to find us on Patreon. MBNnetwork.com. It's never been easier for you to find your new favorite podcast. This is Might Be News. I'm Taylor Cooper. With me, as always, co-host Kev. What up, Kev?
Yo.
What up, Danny?
What's up?
So, this is a big night. We got a lot to talk about.
Jam-packed.
Jam-packed. I mean, my notebook is just overloading. My phone is crazy. Danny's got his huge computer
I
here.
had to break the laptop out.
Wow, that thing is it's a monster.
Yeah, buddy.
So week 8 here at the Might Be News Network is officially underway. We really hope that you guys have been enjoying the season so far. I know I have. Last week was crazy. We had a very, very interesting interview on Foundation Radio. Holocaust survivor David Tuck.
That was wild.
Yeah?
That was wild.
Yeah. Did you enjoy listening?
Yeah,
It was
really.
good.
It was a little tough to understand in the beginning, but then after I got used to it, it was fine. But yeah, he had some crazy stories.
Yeah.
Fucking 1 or 2 pieces of bread for 5 years.
Yeah.
2 pieces of bread a day for 5 years. That's all he ate.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine being rescued or whatever term they use, but to have an MRE or whatever it is put in front of you and saying, don't eat too much because you'll kill yourself.
Yeah, that was really crazy because they were having people, their stomachs were, so small now that they were exploding. And because they gave them like baskets full of, different things and a whole bunch of food that they obviously haven't been having. And that was a really crazy part of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a great interview. He was just such a wonderful man. He was just full of life, great outlook on life. It was just such a pleasure meeting him. And we're doing some big things on Foundation Radio. We got some big things coming up. The whole network's doing great. I'm really excited about the way things are going for the 90-minute episodes. Everybody's having a good time with that. Check out Patreon. Danny, you got some good news?
I sure do.
Let's do it.
Hey, did you hear the news?
This better be good.
You want the good news or the bad news?
Give me the good stuff.
Danny, week 8, what do you got?
All right, I actually have a bunch this week.
Oh.
So it was a good week for good news. The first one, a 25-year-old Kenyan engineer and inventor, Roy Alea, has created a set of gloves that will ultimately allow better communication between those who are deaf and those who are hearing yet may not necessarily know sign language. The Sign IO glove, in essence, translates sign hand movements into audible speech. This guy got this idea because his niece is deaf and they have trouble understanding her sign language. So he created these gloves that detect the position of every finger, every little, movement your finger makes, and you download this app on your phone, and whatever you sign will come out as an audible on your smartphone.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Incredible
That's
stuff.
incredible. Yeah, that's incredible.
Incredible. This, it could be huge.
This could be life-changing for a lot of people.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
My next story is about a boy that was seen on surveillance camera doing his homework under a streetlight. It sounds like a fairy tale or maybe the plot of a Charles Dickens novel, but this is a true story. It began when Victor Martin Angeline Cordova, an 11-year-old boy from Moca, Peru, caught the attention of the officers monitoring the city's security camera. A street camera captured video of the 6th grader sitting and laying in the road under the street lamp doing his homework. Soon the images and the backstory went public on news outlets and social media. Victor's family didn't have any electricity, but the boy was determined to get an education, so so he could grow up to be a police officer to fight corruption, thieves, and drugs.
Wow.
The first person to come to the rescue was the mayor of the town. I'm not even going to try this guy's names. But he bought Victor a package of school supplies and helped the family to get the paperwork done so they could acquire the deed to the property and get the electric installed. Basically, this whole town is coming out and helping this family. They couldn't have the electricity because they didn't have the deed to the house, so they couldn't show proof that the house was theirs. So the whole town basically came to the rescue to help this 11-year-old get some electricity so he could do his homework.
That's great.
It's incredible.
Next story, Darius Rucker, also known as one of the frontmen for Hootie and the Blowfish, announced Thursday on Facebook that he has raised over $2 million for children's research. This is all being raised for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital Research Center.
Wow.
He's been doing this for the past few years, and his campaign is finally over, and that's the amount of money that he has raised. Amazon on Tuesday said it will donate $8 million to fight homelessness in its two headquartered cities in Seattle and Arlington, Virginia. The initial donation will include $5 million to Plymouth Housing in Seattle and $3 million to the Arlington Community Foundation. Amazon will also match employee donations to some charities that address housing and homelessness in either location through September 30th, according to a press release. Amazon said it will match up to $5 million in employee donations.
That's incredible.
Putting their money to good use.
No, it's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome, Kev.
Awesome. This one's coming out of Seaside Heights, New Jersey. A New Jersey lifeguard is being hailed a hero after saving a 10-month-old baby from choking to death. Officers said Pete... Ooh, this is a tough name. We're just going to go with Pete. Pete of the Seaside Heights Beach Patrol was on his break on the boardwalk around 12:10 p.m. last Friday when he heard somebody screaming. He ran to find out what was going on and found an infant choking on a piece of plastic. Pete put the boy over his knee and performed the Heimlich maneuver to clear the child's throat. The baby is set to make a full recovery.
I couldn't imagine just being absolutely helpless with your kid there choking. Ugh.
Last good news story.
Thanks.
No, I agree completely.
Yeah.
I think for some people it would be. For me, that has a medical background, I would know what to do. But for people who don't, like this family did,
right,
that's a scary situation.
Yeah, I'd poop
that's
myself
really scary.
Again.
The last person that I want to talk about, I started reading up on this person after the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup.
Yep.
Layla Anderson.
Okay.
Have you heard about her?
Yes.
So she is this super fan for the St. Louis Blues. Layla is 11 years old, and she has a life-threatening immune disease. Layla was in the hospital fighting this disease, and she was always going to the Blues games. She would always stand next to the hallway to get to the locker room, and she was always giving them fist pumps. She was going so much that they actually created this relationship with her, and they knew her name, and they expected to see her at the games. Well, she started having this life-threatening immune disease, and she was in the hospital fighting for her life at the same time the Blues in January had the worst record in the NHL.
Right.
So they were fighting, basically for their season.
Yep.
Right.
So they created this bond together, and Layla and the Blues basically formed this friendship, and the Blues used Layla as inspiration for them, that if there's this girl that's fighting this life-threatening disease, we can do that too with our season, and we can turn our season around.
Right.
So they created this great friendship. They invited her once she was well enough to Game 5, and then they had her at Game 7 and actually brought her out onto the ice and had her lift up the Stanley Cup with them.
That's great.
It brings us back to that point that you brought up about hockey and their fans.
Yeah.
And here is one example of just how incredible the game of hockey is to their fans.
It's great.
So congratulations to the St. Louis Blues and to Layla on their Stanley Cup championship.
Congratulations to Craig Berube, Braden Shen, Michael Delzato, all the fucking former Flyers that have just won the Stanley Cup with another different team.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It's an ongoing trend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You leave the Flyers, you go to a team, and then you win the Stanley Cup. Dude, I don't know if you guys heard the news, but
Gudas is going to win a Stanley Cup next year.
yeah. So Radko Gudas just got traded to the Washington Capitals for Matt Niskanen.
And they're favored right now to win the Stanley Cup next year, right?
No, but everybody, I don't know if they are or not. I haven't.
That's what the odds say. That's
Really?
what Vegas says.
So everybody's saying on Facebook, congratulations, Radko Gudas on the 2020 championship.
I liked him.
He's a
He had a lot of
typical Flyer.
Yeah.
Like, he had a lot of heart. He had a lot of fight. He was a gritty player. Not always clean, but apparently this Matt Niskanen guy, I mean, I followed him a little bit when he was with the Capitals just because I like watching the Caps play, but they're the same kind of player.
Okay.
Same goal production, same getting to the boards, get the puck out, and you don't mind taking a person's head off in the process.
Yep.
So
I watched Game 7. You were wondering if I was going to. You were on Might Be Sports last week.
Yep.
Yeah, just in case people didn't hear it or whatever. But co-host Kev made an appearance on Might Be Sports last week. We talked some hockey. I watched Game 7.
I picked the Bruins to win,
You
and
did.
I'm so glad that I
Didn't put money down.
didn't put money down. But as I said on Might Be Sports, is I picked the Bruins to win, but
You
I
wanted
want
St.
St. Louis to win.
Yeah, I was rooting for St. Louis as well.
Dude, it was a complete 360 from game 6 to game 7. It was the fucking, what the hell is the kid's name? Is a rookie goalie for St. Louis, and he stopped every single shot put on him except for one. And dude, it's some remarkable saves. It was awesome.
They said he thrives on the road.
Yeah,
It showed
Oh,
that
St.
he
Louis.
did.
Yeah, St. Louis. Period. They
Yeah.
are just a road team. They play better on the road than they do at home.
I was basically only rooting for St. Louis just because they'd never won one.
Right.
I also knew that a bunch of ex-Flyers were on the team.
Yep.
Because somebody was talking about it on the radio or whatever. And because I had no idea. I didn't know any of those people were down there or whatever. You I think, listed a couple when we talked last or something. But it was a good game.
That was a great game.
It was a good game if you wanted St. Louis to win.
Dude, it was even a good game going into the third period. You were in the beginning of the third period. It was still only 2-0. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was fun to watch.
A question about the rules with hockey.
Yeah.
Is there a time when you are allowed to have an empty net? Like, you're not allowed to have it with over 4 minutes left?
No, you can have an empty net whenever, but
Is there a
obviously-
max amount of times you can do that, or is it whenever?
No,
Or
you just
like just
pull the
anytime?
goalie.
Yeah, because like I was watching Game 7,
Yeah.
and it was 4-0 in the third with like 6 minutes left.
Right.
I was like, fucking pull the goalie.
Yeah.
Like it's games. Like, what are you gonna do? It's
Yeah.
Game 7.
You're absolutely right, but also you got to think of it as, I mean, the defense on the other team, if the puck's in their zone, in their own defensive zone, they can just clear the puck and shoot it an empty net at any time. I
Good,
mean,
but you're already losing 4-0.
right.
I see what you're saying. No, I don't know all the hockey rules too much, so I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, you can pull the goalie whenever.
I'm glad we could do this on this show and not Might Be Sports. We achieved something on this show tonight.
What's that?
Well, you got we were able to talk hockey. We don't talk hockey on Might Be Sports.
No,
Unless you're on the show.
that sucks for you guys.
Kev, I know that you are into gaming somewhat, right?
Yeah.
Danny, somewhat, maybe a little bit, not really.
Yeah.
This past week was E3.
I didn't follow it at all.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you
Yeah.
follow, because they have the new Call of Duty coming out.
Which looks dope.
It
I've
does
seen the
look dope.
trailer for that.
It
Yeah.
looks good. They're saying it's like a really different kind of campaign this time around. Like it's kind of divisive.
Did you
is what
see
I've
the
been-
trailer?
Yeah.
So you saw who's in it and everything.
Yes, and I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. It's a guy from
Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 1 and 2.
1 and 2, right?
Yep.
That's what I couldn't remember which one or ones he was in.
He was in both of them. Yeah.
But that's the one. He is the guy that you are during Gillied Up, right?
No, I believe you're always the same character.
Same character. Whatever. Anyway, that shit. Oh yeah, you're right because you follow that dude.
Yeah.
That shit was dope. Anyway, that trailer looks dope. There's a bunch of dope games coming up. I'm just going to get into it a little bit. I don't, whatever.
I'm excited to hear it.
There's some people that might be. There's a new Star Wars game coming out called the Fallen Order. Shit looks really dope. Kevin's all hype, and now he's not. No, it actually looks really good. The main character is the guy who, I don't know if either of you guys watch the show Gotham or if anybody watches out there, but I guess the guy who plays the Joker in that show is the main character in this, and they made him look like just like him. Yeah, I guess is his name.
Yeah, he's the guy that he's on Shameless.
He's in Shameless. Yes. We just started watching that, by the way.
You just started Shameless?
Yeah, we just started.
Dude.
Yeah, we just started it.
How far along are you?
Like 4 episodes.
What do you think so far?
Oh yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
It gets so good.
I knew I would like it. I've seen like a couple episodes just at somebody's house or somewhere.
Yeah, the chick.
Yeah,
Fiona.
She's banging everybody.
Yeah, it seems like
everybody.
I'm only like 4 episodes in, and it seems like it.
It's funny. I used to follow her on Instagram, and she put up this like skimpy photo, and like her clothes were barely covering her tits. And somebody commented, was like, "Listen, we've seen them like 5,000 times on the show. What the hell are you covering them for?"
But we like it so far. We do. I've also been trying to watch that When They See Us. I'm going to get into that a little bit later, though. But the Star Wars game looks dope. The big game that everybody's talking about seemingly right now is called Cyberpunk 2077, and it's a first person like kind of RPG game, but it's set in 2077, and everybody's got kind of like cybernetic like alterations.
Okay.
Like they get robot eyes. You can see like super far. You can zoom in and scan shit, whatever. Arms, legs, whatever.
It's like a Skyrim kind of RPG first person?
Yeah.
Okay.
It seems that way.
Okay.
You get a dope looking car and shit. You get the guns look crazy. It looks really crazy. And people have been hyping it up for a while, but they came out with a bunch of content for it at E3. They showed a lot of gameplay. They revealed that Keanu Reeves is in this video game.
Of course he is.
Of course. It's the summer of Keanu Reeves, I swear to God. It's the year of Keanu. But good for him, though. Good for him. He's in this dope game. He's got like this metal arm and shit. He looks cool as fuck. Like, whatever. Get your money, Keanu. But that's coming out in April. Let's see. They got a sequel to the one of the highest selling games on the Nintendo Switch, the Zelda. They're coming out with a sequel to whatever that was. I don't know because I don't have a Switch. Hint, hint.
Hint, fucking hint.
Taylor, when's your birthday?
August 9th.
August 9th.
Yeah.
Anything you want?
Nintendo Switch would be pretty cool.
How about a pinky
like
ring?
A cool idea.
Pinky ring is also my second option. That's my second option. Jackie, she's looking for ideas for my birthday. I said a Nintendo Switch or a pinky ring for no particular reason at all.
We got Cole a Nintendo Switch for his birthday. It's fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Dude, it's awesome.
Is it really that good?
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
They got a lot of crazy games for it. Like the Smash Brothers is awesome. Like all their games are like highly rated. Like
so you can go on and download like old
Mario
Super
Kart and
Nintendo games and shit like that as well. And they're only like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
Which is so dope.
Because the controller thing just breaks off and it's 2 controllers, right?
Or dude, and it fucking frustrates the shit out of me. I don't know how he does it, but he'll use the controller as one controller, but as 2 pieces. So Cole will be sitting on the couch and he'll have one hand over here and one hand over here as he's slouching down on the couch, just controlling. And I'm like, how the fuck are you playing like that?
What, do you want him to be like this?
Yeah. Like a normal person.
Like that would be comfortable. Just be like, just like slump back in the chair. Like, watch, I'm gonna fuck up Tyson on this boxing match. KO, bitch.
No, it looks dope.
It's cool.
The Zelda game looks sick.
Yeah.
They announced that The Witcher 3 is coming out for Switch soon.
Apparently, that was like such a dope game. I never played it.
I played it. I played the whole. I beat it. I beat the whole thing.
It was a horror game, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean, not really. It's not like scary, but there's like definitely horror like aspects to it. You know what I mean? Like there's like ghosts and demons and fucked up shit in it that you see, but like your dude's the shit and can pretty much handle all that. It's a game for you, not for your kids.
So we're talking about this, and I have just changed my late review. But go ahead.
Okay. No, it was, the next big thing is they announced the Marvel Avengers game. There's going to be a straight up like RPG kind of game where you pick one of the Avengers and that's who you are through a dope story. I think it looks like it's going to be online. The shit looks pretty sick.
Mm.
It's done by the Square Enix people, whatever. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. They showed a trailer for the new Doom.
See, I love Doom back when it was on the computer. I love that game.
Yeah.
With the little guy that would get fucked up as you're getting fucked up
Yeah.
on the bottom of the screen. I love that game.
When you got the God mode code, his like eyes just turned cold and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Danny, did you play
Doom
Doom
on the computer?
Yeah.
The only game I ever played on the computer was Oregon Trail.
Really?
Yeah. Ever.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oregon Trail.
Wolfenstein?
Doom was that shit. Doom 2 was that shit.
Dude, I used to play computer games before I played system games.
Me too.
Yeah, I never played computer games. I was never into that kind of stuff.
Huh.
See, I didn't have Doom. My grandparents did, and
My grandparents.
for all the cousins and shit that came through. I don't know who brought it. I think it was one of my uncles. Just installed it on their computer or whatever. And like, dude, when I first played Doom, I was like, this is the coolest shit ever. Like, it was also bugged out because some of the shit in that game was wild. And it was bloody
Big
as
fucking
hell.
brown fucking
Yeah.
monster guys.
Yeah. Well, and all that shit is in the new game. But it all looks really good.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I
see,
mean?
dude, I saw the new Doom, I guess back when Xbox One first came out, and it just turned me off and I never checked it back out.
All right.
Yeah.
One of the biggest announcements at E3, and I'll move on to something else, is the Microsoft released the first information on its upcoming next-gen console titled right now Project Scarlet. It said that it's going to be 4 times as powerful as the current top-tier hardware, the Xbox One X.
Xbox 2.
Basically. 8K support, 120 frames per second,
The
whatever.
fuck do you need 8K?
Because Microsoft is Xbox, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're not making an Xbox. They made the Xbox One.
No, they're gonna. It's gonna be X. I can almost guarantee it's gonna be Xbox something, but they always come up with a code name. Like when Xbox One came out, they had a code name for the Xbox One.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this they're just calling Scarlet right now. It's gonna be something along the lines. Like
They also showed a very brief kind of hype trailer for Halo Infinite, which will be available apparently upon release of the whatever the next Xbox is. They're saying holiday season 2020.
that reminds me. So back when Steve had his party, I was in the living room area with Cole, Blake, and Landon, and I looked at Blake and I was like, I would beat you so bad in Halo. And
Oh my God.
He looks at me. He's like, no chance.
Kid's good. He's good. Like, I used to play with him.
Right.
And I used to take it easy on him. Now, I legitimately have to try and I lose.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
The changing gears a little bit. I mentioned When They See Us, the Netflix
Yeah.
miniseries. There's only 4 episodes. I'm halfway through it. I finished the second episode. But there's apparently a lot of backlash for the real life people that put these guys away. For those of you who don't know what When They See Us is about, it's about the Central Park 5. The 5 guys that were locked up for 10 years for basically for a crime they didn't commit. raping a woman in Central Park. And they were all super young, like 16. And they got let out. They're out now. But the people, the two ladies responsible for putting them away, one of them, Linda Fairstein is her name. She's now like a writer and stuff, and she has been dropped by her book publisher. She basically resigned her post at one of the charities that she was working for and shit like that. The other lady that they put her away, the people away, Elizabeth Lederer, she was at Columbia Law School, and a lot of the students were like protesting her being there, so she was forced to resign.
Wow.
Like, the show is, like I said, I've only seen the first 2 episodes. Very crazy. And the acting is top notch. Very emotional. The profiling that happens in it is just unbelievable.
Racial.
Very, very crazy, dude. Very crazy. Basically, these people like force these kids to admit to a story that they more or less fabricated to like fit what happened that night or what they thought happened that night. You know what I'm saying? They had these kids just like snitching on each other. They never even met each other, like ever. And they just like made these kids like snitch on each other, and then they put them on trial, and then they locked them up. Like crazy, crazy shit. And then like I haven't made it to the end. I can't. I really, really, really need to finish the show.
We need to finish Chernobyl.
Speaking of Chernobyl,
I saw that their tourism is up 40%.
40%.
40%. Like, would you really risk going there still?
You have been able to go back on tours there since 2011.
Okay, but you have to like wear a radar, like a detector.
I think depending on how close you get, you have to have a radon detector for sure. Like they give that to you to go there.
Yeah.
As soon as you step off the plane.
Well, as soon as you get close enough to the town that it's in, yeah. But there's an influx of tourism in Chernobyl, and also it's like becoming a social media frenzy of people going to Chernobyl and taking like modeling pics in front of like abandoned buildings and just like holy shit. And then I'm looking at this article, and you just scroll through, and all these pictures have been removed since this article came out because they're fucking embarrassed about it. This guy's holding his radon detector. It's crazy, but the creator of the show came out and said it's wonderful that Chernobyl has inspired a wave of tourism to the zone of exclusion. But yes, I've seen the photos going around. If you visit, please remember that a terrible tragedy occurred here. Control yourselves with respect and to all the ones that suffered and sacrificed. Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like people are just going there just for shits and just to take pictures,
just to get a photo taken.
Find the right lighting and all this shit. Like what the hell? I don't know. It just kind of like cracked me up. Look at this girl. It's like leaning on these like old abandoned cars.
I wouldn't want to touch anything.
What are you doing? Yeah, for real. I wouldn't want to touch. I saw this thing. I think it was on Vice News or something, and it was or no, maybe it was some show about like crazy places to go, like tourism and stuff. And Chernobyl was one of them. And these people went on like a bus, like a little van, just like all through like even just like the country, like away from like the city, was just all crazy radiation. And then like waves of it. Like it's not even like it just like gradually goes up sometimes. It just
I'd
like
stay so fucking far away from that shit. I don't even care.
Dude. Yeah.
I don't even care.
It's just I wouldn't see the point in it.
Right.
Just to get a photo? Nothing.
No. All right, so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got an all-new What's the Point late review. We'll be right back.
So you've been listening to the Might Be News Network, but you still can't get enough each week? Become our patron on Patreon. Head to patreon.com/MBN Network to become a patron and get exclusive content now. For as little as $5 per month, you'll get access to extended episodes of all your favorite shows, as well as perks including MBN merch and monthly giveaways. Just want to support the network? Become a patron for as much or as little as you'd like. Patreon.com/MBN Network. 2 hours of bonus content each week guaranteed. Your contributions will help make the Might Be News Network bigger and better than ever before. Patreon.com/MBN Network.
Welcome back to Might Be News. I'm Taylor Cooper. What up, Kev?
Yo,
What up, Danny?
What's up?
So, one news story that I wanted to talk about real quick before we do What's the Point, that I do not want to forget about. Shout out to Jon Stewart. Danny, have you seen
I have, yes.
the week that Jon Stewart's had?
I've seen it. I've been following it. It's an incredible story, and I'm so glad he did this.
what'd he do? What'd he do?
So he went to Congress.
He's
with-
running for president.
No. With a bunch of 9/11 first responders.
Okay.
That have all had cancer and they've all had terrible health conditions since 9/11.
Okay.
And they're fighting for a fund that will help them with their bills, help them with their medical costs, help them just in general.
Because the city doesn't want to.
No. And
After they helped the city.
So everybody knows 343 firefighters died on September 11th. That number has skyrocketed because of people with cancer from all the dust that they were
Inhaling.
breathing in that
Yeah.
day.
Wow.
yeah. And we posted it on the Facebook page, the Might Be News Network Facebook page. He gave a very, very crazy speech.
Very emotional.
Very
speech.
emotional. And but he, because of that speech and all the first responders that showed up that day to make their presence known, there's a bill that permanently authorizes the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund. It passed unanimously through the House Judiciary Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's on to the next stage, but it's looking good.
It's looking
for
really
them.
good.
Yeah. So
Did you see after they passed the vote for the bill, his friends presented him with his friends.
that is also on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Yes.
They presented Jon Stewart with his friend who passed away on September 11th. They presented him with his fire coat.
Yes. And they all
Very,
signed it and stuff.
Very emotional.
Yeah. Yep. The whole thing is crazy emotional, people. Go on Facebook, Might Be News Network. We posted on there. It's there.
I gained a lot of respect for him from that.
He's been fighting for them for a long time, since before he left the Daily Show.
Yeah.
But that was a thing that he focused a lot more on since he left the Daily
Yep.
Show. And I'm happy to see that it's finally paying off. Let's see. You guys ready for What's the Point?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
What's the point? Is there a point to this?
What is your point?
Are you just gonna sit there and look stupid?
Kev, what's your point?
So mid-show, I changed my point. I was going to talk about zombie snakes. If you're
Zombie-
Talk about both.
Yeah,
Do
I'll
both.
hear both.
Do both.
So, St. Louis Blues have just won the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
Just won the Stanley Cup. Huge for them. January of this season, they were in dead last place, worse standings than my beloved Philadelphia Flyers.
Yeah.
And because of coaching, because of their the bond that they had, they were able to come together, pull through, and fucking beat the Boston Bruins in the finals, Game 7, and fucking smoke the daylights out of them. Smoke the daylights out of them. I was ecstatic. And that's what I wanted to say about that. But zombie snakes. North Carolina has what? What?
No, go ahead.
State of North Carolina has issued a warning about the eastern hognose snake. So this snake is a venomous snake. It is not highly venomous. If you were to get bitten, there's a little bit of inflammation, but that's about it. They come in
Does it turn you into a zombie then?
No. It's just the title of the article, and it caught my attention. But they are all different color patterns, and they puff up the head kind of like the cobra. But they have adapted a new line of defense to roll over and play dead.
Really?
A snake that can just roll over and play dead.
I saw the picture of it on
Flipped
the thing you
over.
posted. Yeah.
And they say that people are going up to these things because they're not really highly venomous or anything, and flipping them over, and the snake just flips back over. It just rolls back over, and it plays dead. These things are all over the place in North Carolina, and I mean, just leave them alone.
I want a zombie snake. Fuck that. Like, what you do on your Friday night? I play dead with my snake.
It's wild to think that something can adapt like that because it doesn't have the proper defense to
It just
defend itself.
It just makes its own defense. It's just like, fuck, I'm just gonna lay here. Hopefully this works.
Like the fainting goats. Have you seen the fainting goats?
Yeah.
Yo,
They're awesome. I
fuck
want
that.
one.
I'm on a mission to get a fainting goat and a zombie snake.
They're gonna
Party at my house.
They're gonna be buddies.
They're just gonna like fuck each other up the whole time. Just one's just gonna faint, and the other one just roll over. As soon as they both wake up, they'll just do it again.
It'll just be
Endless
a cycle.
entertainment.
Yo, they're waking up. Oh, there they go.
Every time the snake rolls over, the goat passes out and faints.
But I thought that was kind of neat, and it was just an article that caught my attention and
That is cool.
bring light to it.
Danny, what's your point?
All right, so this is something that we talked about last week. It's kind of a sad story. We talked about if you saw something happening, would you run to help? You know,
Depending
the school shooting,
Yeah.
running in, a house fire, running in.
depending on the situation, yes.
Yeah.
So if I saw a domestic dispute and saw a guy roughing up a girl, absolutely I would step in. If I saw something to that nature where I feel like I could do something without getting hurt severely, yeah, I would step in. But to run into a burning building, no, I'm going to call 911. School's getting shot up. You hear gunshots near a school. I'm calling 911.
Well, this happened in the Bronx. A community in the Bronx is mourning the loss of a young hero. 19-year-old Lucas Silverio was awoken early Sunday morning by a fire racing through his building in the Belmont section. After helping his grandmother out, Lucas raced back up 14 floors and carried out a badly burned 3-year-old girl who sadly later died. Lucas died a few days later on Wednesday. So this guy, he's 19 years old. He was in college. He was studying to be a health aide. He wanted to help people for a living. And he did to the very end, ran back in.
Wow. Kudos to him.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. I saw that story and very, very crazy stuff. My point this week is the first possible marijuana overdose has
This
been
is bullshit.
Reported. So New Orleans coroner recorded what may be the first U.S. death caused by marijuana use.
Is it legal in New Orleans?
No. According to Newsweek, a 39-year-old woman was found dead in her apartment after overdosing on vaping THC oil. Although there have been reported deaths involving marijuana, coroner Christy Montague insisted this is the first case in which THC was the psychoactive compound in cannabis was the sole drug that she found. Like nothing else was there. She said, quote, "It looked like it was all THC because her autopsy showed no physical disease or afflictions that were the cause of death. She went on to say there was nothing else identified in the toxicology, no other drugs, no alcohol. There was nothing else. Not everybody's on board. Obviously, I was very skeptical as soon as I saw this because it just, I don't know. I've smoked a lot of weed, and it doesn't make sense that somebody could die from it. Prior to this case, the National Center for Biotechnology, Technology Information, a branch of the National Institute of Health, stated that, quote, no known cases of fatal overdose from cannabis use is anywhere. People are saying that it was like respiratory failure.
It had to
like
be.
just something to do with her lungs. Just she suffocated. I don't know. They're saying that it's not very the chances of it are not very high, and they say that in order to overdose from marijuana, you'd have to smoke over 2,000 joints to be anywhere near fatal.
Listen, if Snoop Dogg isn't dead yet, I mean,
right. I mean, I just don't see how somebody could straight up overdose from it.
It's impossible.
There's nothing, especially, I mean, all right, well, they said that there's no other chemicals. The first thing I thought of was, all right, well, where are you getting this oil from? Like, it can't be medical because, if it's not legalized in New Orleans, maybe it is medically, but I don't know. I don't think it is. But, like, where are you getting this oil from? Because maybe there's some chemical in there that could have done something.
Anybody can make anything and say, hey, this is THC oil. And it's not. I mean, it could be that THC spice, like the liquid spice stuff.
Right.
That stuff can kill you.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shit you could just put in liquid that could kill you if you're vaping it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, back when I was doing like the big vape stuff, like I was always like skeptical of that shit. Like you buy stuff in like this like tiny little plastic bottle. It's like, this doesn't feel right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like something, I just don't know. I don't know what the shit is. And if you're just getting some non-regulated shit, there's always a possibility of you getting something that's not supposed to be in there.
Oh yeah.
But
but cannabis has been legal in Louisiana since 1978.
Legal?
Medical.
Oh, medical. Okay.
Medical
So maybe
use
it was.
since 1978.
Because this article does not say if it was. But they're saying that
I believe
people-
that's right. It
people-
doesn't sound right to me.
White House Office of National Drug Control Policy. This whole article is crazy. We posted it on the Might Be News Network Facebook. But they're saying like I said, you have to smoke over 2,000 joints to die from the shit. But also, I mean, the weed industry now. I mean, we've talked about Colorado, we've talked about California, and like the amount of money that they're making from this shit. But also, just in the like short period of time from when we were growing up, the quality of the shit
It's completely different.
completely different now. Like I never would have thought that I'd be vaping the shit.
Yeah.
And when people started doing that, I wanted nothing to do with it because I didn't trust that shit.
It's funny. I talk to guys that I work with, some older guys, and they always talk about how back in their day, them always smoking, and they always say we don't do it now because nowadays it's not the same shit. Like, there's so much different shit in there, and we just want to smoke and chill, but the shit you guys are putting in that shit, it fucks us up.
Well, and it's not even like there's stuff in it necessarily.
It's just stronger.
It's just grown better than it ever was. Like there's more nutrients that they put into it, more things that like make it do different things or make it stronger. But like it's just things that weren't being done back then. And like the crazy thing about it now is I still don't like edibles.
So I got a question
I
for
don't
you.
mess with that shit.
Have you ever tried dabs?
Yes.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, watched. Because I've seen videos on fucking line of people doing it and shit like that. People post stupid fucking videos on Facebook. Why would you ever do something to get high that involves a torch? Like, come on now.
I mean, you got a point.
Dude, it's pretty intense. The whole setup is pretty intense. I don't own anything like that, but like I've been around it and done it. I'm just like, well, that seems like way too much work.
Yeah, I follow Dan Belzerian. You ever heard of him?
Yeah,
the king
he's
of
a trip.
Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah, he's a trip.
So he has his own weed business now called Ignite, and I watch videos of him all the time. You know, doing the dabs and sitting there with the torch and holding the torch till the glass is glowing. And I'm like, why? Like, if you're getting fucked up, I'm not playing with a torch and hot glass. No, thank you.
'Cause all that is like that concentrated shit. And see, I don't know, because I've heard this 2,000 joints for a long time. Like I've heard that's like the standard. That's like the line you don't want to cross.
Right.
But like I don't know how that equates to this new shit. You know what I mean?
3.
Yeah, right. 3 bong rips, you're done. No,
Man, I've
definitely
seen
not.
people do like whole sheet size
Yeah, yeah.
people like of dabs.
Yeah, I've seen it too. Like, there's a whole bunch of Instagram videos and shit of people just straight putting fucking paper size shit when that fucking torch
Just holding it like this, and it's just melting as they're going down.
It's retarded. It's retarded.
I could not. No, that's crazy.
I'd fucking pass out.
I don't understand why people would want to get high with torches. But whatever floats your boat.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Whatever floats your boat.
You ready
go
for
it.
Don't do drugs, kids.
You ready for late review? Let's do it. I know it's a little late, but
You're just hearing about this?
Can't believe I'm just hearing.
Why didn't I know about this sooner?
all right, my late review this week. Jackie and I just recently sat down. She had watched it before, but I wanted to watch it because the new season just started on HBO. Big Little Lies on HBO. Season 1 was supposed to be just a mini series. I think it was only 7 episodes. The cast is crazy. It's got that Shailene Woodley from the Divergent movies. Have you ever heard of them?
Is this
those
like a
movies?
chick flick?
Yes and no.
Or no, that's Pretty Little Liars.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're thinking of something different.
Okay.
I got the two confused as well.
Yeah.
This is totally different.
Okay.
And it's very wild. It's got Shailene Woodley, Nicole Kidman, Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern, the chick from Jurassic Park, the first one.
Okay.
Zoe Kravitz. The second season has Meryl Streep. Alexander Skarsgård, he was in True Blood. He was one of the vampires who's like the blonde guy. He's been in a bunch of shit. Adam Scott, he was in Parks and Rec, a couple other things. Anyway.
It's garbage.
No. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it's funny. There's parts of it that are funny, parts of it that are very serious. But the whole thing, like, it takes place in this like real like rich kind of uptight town in California, and it's mostly about all the moms that are for these kids at this school, and during the show, it keeps flashbacking to like, or fast forwarding to like these police, and they're investigating a murder, but they don't tell you who got murdered. Okay.
Okay.
So they keep like fast forwarding to like just showing them talking about what happened, but not like telling you what happened. You know what I'm saying? And throughout the show, like all these different characters and their families and their home lives and like how they kind of intertwine is really crazy. And it has a lot to do with like their kids at school too, which is kind of wild. And, but throughout the show, it kind of makes you like wonder, like, all right, well, who's going to die? Like, because it legit could be like pretty much anybody in the show, because they're all like shitty / funny / decent people.
Yeah.
Like they're good people that
Yep.
make really shitty, stupid mistakes. And like Nicole Kidman's relationship is like really fucked up. Like her husband is like a real piece of shit. Like Reese Witherspoon's ex-husband is married to Zoe Kravitz, and like so there's like a whole thing there. But like the relationships between some of them and like their husbands is pretty funny, and like there's different relationships in the show that add some like comedic relief to it. It's enough to keep you like really interested. In my opinion, I wanted to keep going. I give the first season a 9.
What is this on?
HBO.
HBO. Okay.
Yep. Season 2 just started, and like I said, Meryl Streep is in it. And apparently the only reason that there is a second season is because Meryl Streep wanted to make one.
What is this called?
Yeah. Big Little Lies. It's really good. It's really good. And you can tell just from the first episode, we watched the first episode of season 2, and Meryl Streep's going to be a problem. Yeah, it's a crazy show. It's definitely really good. I give it a 9. Definitely. You should check it out. Because I think that definitely the girls will like it. If they haven't seen it already, but they would definitely
probably
like it.
seen it.
Yeah, they would definitely like it.
I've seen this.
What, you've seen trailers for it, or she?
No, I've seen it.
Oh, she was watching it?
Amy was watching it.
Yeah.
It's been out for a while.
If Amy watched it, then I guarantee you Allison watched it too.
Oh.
The season 1, I think, was in 2017. I think it's pretty recent. It's pretty recent.
Definitely seen it.
Yeah,
Definitely
dude,
seen
it's
it.
good. You should check it out. It's good.
She spent a lot of time running on the beach.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Yep.
And when you find out, like, the girl from the Divergent movies, that her whole part of the story.
She's the
is
main
like,
character.
Well, now I can't watch it. You ruined it for me. There's
all
a
the
girl
girls-
running on a beach.
All the girls, like all those ladies, are like main characters.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, she's definitely one of them.
What's her face? Not Scarlett Johansson. We'll talk later.
What?
Kev,
I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Kev, what's your Scarlett Johansson's not in the show?
Who is it?
Reese Witherspoon?
I don't know.
Nicole Kidman?
Nicole Kidman.
Uh-huh.
She get like
Don't spoil anything.
by her husband.
No. Spoiler alert. Nicole Kidman doesn't die. Thanks, Kev. Well,
No, not murdered.
No. Oh, no. No. I'm being honest, too. No. Watch it. You'll like it. I'm telling you. And it's only like 7 episodes. It goes by pretty quick. You like it. What's your review?
I wanted to review. After your E3 talk, it reminded me of a game called Resident Evil Biohazard.
What was that, like the second one?
It was
Or no.
the 5th one.
Okay.
The 5th one.
So this one came out on PS4, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I played this game and I beat it with my brother-in-law's help. We sat there, we banged it out. You can do the share play over PlayStation, and I can pass the controller to him and he can play, and then
That's
he
dope.
he could pass it back to me and I could play. So after I beat it, it was, first of all, it was one of the most bugged out games I ever played. Sitting there playing at night by myself, walking around, watching on the TV, walking around in this pitch black house, fucking trying to find clues, and people are jumping out, and you're seeing all of a sudden it would do a cut, and you'd see like this black shadow scurry across the fucking lit doorway, and bugged out. So I gave it a shot on the VR.
Oh God.
Dude, I gave it a shot.
Oh God.
It was the most horrifying video game and I've already played it once. I already know what's happening.
Right.
That I've ever played in my life. Like, there's this crazy bitch that comes out of nowhere with a fucking chainsaw. Like, I'm seeing this, like, I'm looking like this is me watching real life in the VR. I mean, you obviously can tell it's animated, but you're so closed out to everything. You just get so sucked in and absorbed in it. She fucking cuts off your hand with a fucking chainsaw, and then your other hand, she stabs it up against the wall. And dude, I'm sitting
The fuck?
Dude, it's a horror video game, and I'm sitting there playing this game. I have the TV turned off, and I'm just playing on the headset. And Cole and Amy are in the room with me.
Wait, did you know they were in the room?
No, yeah, I knew they were in the room.
Okay.
They were, dude, I'm sitting there. I shit you not, because I had the headphones on, I had the goggles on, and I'm just absorbed in this world. And I am going, just screaming. And they are both sitting there laughing at me because, dude, I'm actually like, because she flies out, she cuts your arm off, then she pushes you down and fucking stabs your hand up against the wall with a screwdriver, and I'm sitting there trying to block her, like trying to get her the fuck off of me because it's in virtual reality, dude. It was the most wild game I've ever. Dude, you'd have nightmares for years.
I want to play
my
this.
Do you really?
Yes.
I'm about to have nightmares just hearing you talk about it.
You have this at your house.
I have the VR for PS4 at my house.
When can we do this?
Should I bring it over for next?
Yeah, you can if you want. That'd be fun.
Well,
Are you going to play it?
I'm not
No,
going to
I
be here
will
next
not.
week.
So 2 weeks, I'll bring it
2
over.
weeks.
All right.
2 weeks, I'll bring it over.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he has to play.
No.
Okay.
I will not do it.
How about, okay.
Seriously, I got to do this.
All right, I'm going to make this a review about the VR then.
Okay.
So they
Well,
have
what would you rate Resident Evil?
9.
9?
8, 9.
Because we have 5 minutes left.
Oh, okay, just real quick, they have a fucking Shark Tank simulator, or a shark cage simulator,
Okay.
where you're in a shark cage. I mean, you're looking all around and everything. You don't do anything in this part,
Yeah, I'd do that.
and it drops you down into the bottom of the ocean, and a fucking shark attacks the cage and rips the door off. And dude, it's fucking wild.
Really?
I
It's
gotta
wild.
do this.
Dude, I gotta bring it over.
come
I gotta
on.
bring it over.
I've never done
Please.
virtual reality.
Dude, it's
before.
so fucking dope.
I've never done it either, so I'll probably shit my pants.
I'll bring it over. I'll bring it
Please.
over to not next weekend, but the weekend after. I'll bring it
Okay.
over.
Do it.
That'd be fun.
That'd be fun. All right.
We can fucking video it for fucking our Patreon
Yeah,
page.
I'm down with that. That's a good one. Kev, you're killing it right now. That's good, dude.
Yeah.
That's good, dude. All right, Danny, what do you got?
All right, for my late review, Allison and I watched a movie called Always Be My Maybe.
Yeah.
Apparently everybody was talking about this movie, how good
Yep.
it was, so we decided to watch it. It's got Ali Wong, Randall Park, who is one of the characters all fresh off the boat.
Yep.
Very funny guy.
Very funny.
This is it's your classic romantic comedy. Allie and Randall were best friends all throughout their entire childhood. When they grow up, they grew apart, and this is a story about them reconnecting. It was a very sweet movie. Like I said, it's one of your classic love stories. You know what the ending's going to be.
Right.
You know what the ending's going to be, but it was very funny. He was very funny. He's a very funny comedian. He had some very good one-liners. And it was just a feel-good movie. Give it an 8.5.
Good.
Yep, good movie.
That was good.
Definitely check it out.
I like the music in it too.
The music was dope.
Yeah, I
There was
liked it.
some really good music.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. All right, Kev, you ready for This Week in History?
Sure.
And now it's time
Jesus Christ.
for This Week in History
You gotta do me like that.
with co-host Kev.
Fuck. Your fucking little giggle.
I love it.
Seriously, that's my favorite sounder.
June 17th, 1994, O.J. Simpson's slow-speed chase by the police, watched by millions on TV, ended in his arrest.
You remember that?
Yeah, I
You do?
absolutely do.
Danny, do you remember that?
I don't know.
I remember that because they cut off the NBA finals.
Right.
Yeah.
We were because we were over at a basketball party over in one of my neighbor's houses, and we were all the kids, all the parents were there watching it, and and that was what went on. June 18th, 1983, Sally Ride became the first American woman in space. June 19th, 1934, the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, was created. June 21st, 1997, Jesus Christ, the WNBA made its debut. That's what I got.
I wish I watched more WNBA.
Why?
I enjoy
Can't even dunk.
I enjoy women's college basketball.
Yeah, that's true, dude. And women's soccer, fucking
Yo, that's one
Yo,
thing.
the girls team.
Yeah, 13-0 against Thailand. A lot. They got some backlash for that. I could kind of dig it.
for running the score up.
Yeah, Thailand was ranked 34 or something, and USA's ranked number 1. But when it comes down to the end rankings, I think points have something to do with that.
I believe so.
You can get 13 points on Thailand. You might as well go for it.
And I watched a clip of all the highlights of all the goals, and half of them they weren't even trying too hard.
No, we
Thailand gave up basically.
It started at 3 in the afternoon, I think, and Jackie was watching it at work. I think it was 3 or 4-0 when we left work.
Yeah.
And shortly after we got home, which we live 3 lights away, it was fucking 10-0.
Wow.
And the whole time that we were watching it, it was just in Thailand's zone the whole time.
It's crazy.
Yo, thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to get the whole 90-minute episode, go to patreon.com/MBN Network or go to mbnnetwork.com and you can find a link for it there. We got a lot more to talk about. Say peace out, Kev.
See ya.
Peace out, Danny.
Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like I said, go check it out on Patreon. We got a lot more to talk about. I want to talk more about there's some reports about some cops and their Facebook activities, people getting taken off the force. Danny, you got some other things to talk about?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a teacher who beat up his student because he stole $4,000 of weed money.
So go to patreon.com, check it out. We'll be right back.
Isn't it?
All right, I think they're gone.
Is anybody there?